Take me out to the ball. All right, guys. This is it. The long-awaited GV Sitfolio review. And I had to think a lot about this. I had to go through the whole list. Thanks for, forget the name of the person who sent me the importable TradingView format. I saw it, there was little updates. So I went on Gold Ventures website. And I just updated and I put everything in the same order that he has. And I removed the ones that he cleaned up recently. So everything should be 100% just like it is today on GV's Sitfolio list in the exact same order. So, okay, there's a lot to do. And I try to dumb it down, simplify it. And with my whole arsenal of tools, there's some that are pretty sweet to just help us identify, are we on the correct side of the trend? Are we ready to explode? There's something about the consolidation about to end, and even measured moves, etc. So I want you to stare at this. You could put on pause. This is the holy grail. This is the precious metals equivalent of not Tesla, let's say an Apple, Microsoft, a long-running stage 2 uptrend type of stock. It's Kirkland, I always spell it right, Kirkland Lake Gold. And this has been going up even when the metal started pulling back after 2016 and consolidating. This thing has just been going up. Look at that. This is a log chart. It's pretty impressive going on the log chart for this long. Recently it's been consolidating. I don't know exactly this. I did this a few months back in August. But this is what you're going for. And you want to be able to hold this. If you get 1 or 2 or 3 of these in the Sitfolio, huge returns. Look at that. So this used to be a penny stock. Right here, you'll see when we go through GV's Sitfolio list, there's a lot of these stocks that had highs, 130, whatever, $10, then went down slowly through the dark ages of the gold, the bear market. And then they started, on the monthly chart, this is very important to remove noise. They did a low, higher low, and then the moving average is the 1 year, the 3-year moving average cross going upwards. And right here, look at this breakout candle, 2015. It was 21 cents. 21 cents, guys, right here. After that, we had a more clearer breakout here above a volume-defined base, above 1 and 3-year moving average. That's all she wrote. Once you're in, 63 months later, 22,000% move. I don't know. That's huge gains. So even, I don't know, you could do the math there. $1,000 times 22,000, huge. So even in your Sitfolio, if you have those 40 stocks or that you split, let's say you had 40,000, you put 1,000 in each, just a couple of these or 2 that you could hold on that could carry you through all the way to insane profits. You're golden, guys. It's like lottery tickets. But we want to make sure that we grab the best lottery tickets, and that's where your edge comes. It's not just taking random numbers. You actually have technical analysis that's going to increase your chances of catching hopefully one of these that's going to explode. And everybody says, it's going to pull back. No, it never. Just continued, grinded, always closing above a 1-year moving average. So without no further ado, we're going to head out to the Sitfolio, guys. All right, here it is. Here's the Sitfolio, the biggest, tier 2, tier 25 minus MANTARO. I think it's an IPO coming, so there's actually one less in this section than the normal. It says top tier 30, but I think it's tier 29 because I'm missing one. And then the speculative tier 38, but I think again, because there's missing one here, it's 37. So here's going to be the setup, pretty much the one that was sufficient to grab a Kirkland Lake Gold. And we're going to try to spot and see what we're dealing with. I don't think I'm going to sort them in any particular order. I'm going to go through them, the one I could do on the monthly chart. The ones that don't have enough data, I'm going to do them on the weekly chart. And the ones that really don't have enough data, I'll go on the daily. And this is probably a good time because the markets, the gold precious metal sector has been consolidating for a while since reaching those FOMO type highs we had back in August, September. And you'll see that the damage done is not, when you look on the monthly chart, it's actually most of these just perfectly consolidating. There's nothing super violent, crazy new lows. We're going to check all of these out one by one. But that's why you got to take a step back and give yourself time to see what's happening. And monthly charts, the beauty of it is you have 30 days to go through the evidence, to make sure everything's okay. There's no FOMO on the monthly candle chart. So remember, and it's a good sweet spot because the signals it gives you, you'll be able to have multi-months of gains, and then after that be able to sell out. So for me, it's a sweet time frame. And last thing I want to mention is about, I'm going to use a log chart. So all these miners, well, anything denominated that's not like, say, ratio, or it's not compared to something like a currency pair, anything that's denominated in a fiat currency, which presently are in debasement mode, log charts are pretty sweet. On the short term, maybe on the long term, like you saw in Kirkland Lake Gold, you can't maintain like say 45-degree ascent on the log chart. That's just like too violent. On the linear, you'd be going to the moon forever. Maybe eventually in an end game scenario for fiat currencies that might happen. But on the short term, on a multi-months, easily you could keep the log chart and the targets will be reached. And that's where you'll see the huge gains from these things starting at 7 cents. Some have a pull target on the log chart, and super reasonable targets, and they reach them there. All right, so let's do it. Norzinc. Patrick, you talk too much. You wasted 15 minutes of my time. I'll put in the description, you'll see that there he goes talking some more. I'll put the time index for each chart. So if there's a particular ticker you want, I'm going to go through them. It's going to take a little while, but at least when you click on them, you'll be able to go straight to the ticker that you're looking for, guys. So there you go. Descending trend line, descending moving averages, low, monthly defined low, and now it's still sticking below that 1 year moving average. So the blue one's a 3 year moving average, the 1 year still below. And this is volume defined base. So right about here. So it's still consolidating it. Could this go lower? Is it going to hold here in a precious bull market? You could say yes, but you want the moving average to start moving up slowly. You want them to start the contracting together, getting closer. So this is super duper early. I'd say when you get closer to, now it's at 7 cents. When I get closer maybe to 9 cents, 10 cents, and those moving averages start looking like they're going to do a bullish crossover, that you're getting close to this long-term descending trend line, then you have some potential for some crazy moves. Where would be my measure move? So here would be the base. Let's say breakout. What? I want black. Label, TradingView, the best. So 177% move. Let's say we break out. Yeah, here you probably have a slowdown here, this volume defined node at 18 cents. So breakout above 10, then 18. But that's, let's say we do the full move and you go through that volume defined. 177% will bring you all the way up. Oh, look at that, another volume defined node. So all the way 32 cents. So these are the steps I see for Norzinc, guys. SAG, Sterling Metals, and I think this used to be Latin Minerals America, something like that. Okay, so this is what I want the previous one to be able to start doing, guys. Look at that huge volume defined base right there. Here is a little wall just above. So it's working through its next volume. See those wicks on the monthly chart? It's selling pressure going anything, but it's consolidating above. It's still a declining 3 year moving average, but the 1 year moving average is catching up, and that's going to create support and pressure. And you want this to consolidate above, and you want to see that. I just want to see if there's some type of Okay, this would be mostly like a target. So it's very close. So once it closes above, I think this consolidation right here, above 43 cents. Yeah, if it gets a monthly close above 43, 45, this could actually start moving upwards towards that descending trend line, which would be the target. And right now, that target would be, wow, $2 of the sorts. Do I have another? So these are the first ones. With those steep angles, you'll see 1, 2, 3. See, here's a paradigm shift, trendline break right there a few months back. Broke out, consolidating above. And the more you go up, these trend lines, they'll become flatter and flatter until you have a horizontal breakout line. And the horizontal breakout line usually is very meaningful. And right here, this is pretty much it. Yep. So we're close around this, above this consolidation area here, this volume defined node. And this thing should rise up. All right, sag. Next. Nubian Resources. Huge volume defined base right here. Broke out, pull back, and now it's consolidating above another congestion area right here. But now what you have is you have an inclining 1-year moving average, an inclining 1-year moving average, an inclining 3-year moving average right above it. So this is actually a good fear area to enter. Right now, this previous volume defined resistance is now support. So this is kind of pretty sweet. I don't know what, let's say the non-greedy measure move. Add it on top. That's a 300% move. Jesus. Holy smokes. 327. Oh. Pat. Can't move. Stop moving. Wow. Okay. Just about here. Okay. Pull back. Correction within 1 to 3 months. The target would be around $1.23. So right now this thing is sitting at around 34 cents. And this would be the measure move all the way up here. Not bad for a long shot. And if it stays, that's your measure move target. If it stays above the inclining 1-year and 3-year moving average, remember that Kirkland Lake gold chart. You could maybe diminish your position size, but if you keep some, you could ride it up, and eventually maybe you'll get one of those that give you 22,000% returns. Orex. Downtrend. Trying to wake up here in 2016. Here is a breakout right here. Breakout, inclining 1-year, 3-year moving average. Bullish cross. Correction, 1, 2, 3. So you want this to hold. You want the 1-year moving average to hold. You want the 3-year moving average to catch up, keep going up. You see all that volume here. So here is become some resistance. And do I see an arc? Arc. Guys, there's no way to do these fast. Even if I prepared and I looked through them and I had an idea of how fast I think I could do them, Jesus, there's always something. It takes time. So you see now, like, I'm doing them pretty fast, but what you see on Twitter, the polish finish is, it takes time, way more time. So you have to adjust, you do a whole bunch of little finicky things, and you don't like it, and then you, yikes. So here, ooh, okay, we got an arc here. North Star would be proud. 1, 2, a lot of touches. Right here, we're probably going to touch. So here's another support area, confluence of support area right here. If it could bounce off the arc, off that 1-year moving average, then it could probably make another test here. So have another cup or another arc right here on the breakout line, and if it could go above this volume defined node, then the target would probably be all the way up here, 94 cents for Orex mineral. What is it now? 14 cents. Oh boy, just the beginning. A lot of FOMO got in here when this started breaking out. A lot of people bought here, and now a lot of people giving up, moving on, going to other sectors, who knows where. And now this is what's happening here in the precious bull market. This is not going to continue for years on the way down. This should bounce up on these moving averages going up here. Alianza. Ooh. Okay. And starting getting the pretty. Look at that. Huge. This one looks a lot like Kirk. I can't pronounce that name. That's horrible. My dyslexia. Kirkland. Okay. Could I just say Kirkland? It looks like a lot like Kirkland. Remember Kirkland? Long downtrend, like from $1, $1.40, $2 going down, then bullish cross, and then when you bought on it, it was perfect. Look at that Alianza, you had a perfect pullback right here to the 1 year moving average, bullish cross above this huge volume defined support. This thing's just awesome, guys. And even here this month, try to pull back, but buyers coming in, so there's a lot of buying pressure. This one is beautiful, actually. And if you could get above, monthly close above this 15 cents, above this last volume defined node, man, the sky's the limit for this one, guys. Nice uptrend. Angle of descent often equates an angle of ascent, going out of base, rounding base. So Alianza is pretty sweet. Measure moves. When I say not greedy measure moves, I'm not taking, see, off the wick, of the noise intra. I'm taking really from the close to the close. It's already on the log chart, so the target's going to be pretty high. I'm not taking out like 0.001 cent penny. So off a base, a meaningful base. And remember, targets, they're not especially at the speed I'm doing them, they're not Peter Brandt, a super duper measured move to the penny, and then you take your profits there. If the targets are up and in the ballpark region, it should give you an idea of where the price, where the momentum should bring you to. Don't say I said that 32 cents and that's the end of it. Try other measured moves, other techniques to get targets, whatever you fancy. But this is to give you an idea of the possible targets of this type of base. So right now this is a 210% move. And see, for the Alianza, the target would be 48 cents. Right now it's sitting at, wow, 12 cents. So multi baggers right there in the speculative. So even if you had one of these, like basic risk money management, even if you had one of these go completely to zero, the CEO ran away with the secretary, you still have, if this one reaches targets and does 4x, that could account for 4 of those companies that do completely nothing, guys. And if they just do, they're flat, then this is where you get the skewed risk versus reward in your favor. Okay, Silver Sand Resources. Don't have a lot of data. Let's go into 1 week. Okay, 1 week, but I have to change the moving averages. So for me, on the weekly chart, I look at the 10 and the 30. Just old school Stan Weinstein. That's what he used. So I'm just using it. Not asking too many questions. Patrick, ask questions. All right, so this thing exploded, consolidating right here on the 10 week, 30 week, huge volume defined node. It's building a base right now. So we got to wait. So is this going to look like, are we starting to form a, where is my arc? No. Patrick, I should know this by heart. Always imagining the future. Is this potentially an arc, a base? We'll see. If we could bounce off this potential arc, then we could have some measured moves. Angle of entry, angle of exit, 45 cents, right now to 25, and maybe in January of 2021. Yeah, look at the crosshair. So about here would be probably the measured move if this thing could explode and bounce off that arc. It's not a complete arc yet. You want a second bounce, but if you could get a second bounce, then after that you're going to start creating upwards momentum, right? Higher lows. So that's another target, guys. Vangold Mining Corp. Wow, is that Kirkland Lake? Went down. You see when it exploded off. And then above the descending. Oh, wait. Yeah, weekly chart. Is that enough? How much data do I have here? Oh, okay. We could go back to. Let's go back on the monthly, guys. Reduce noise. 1 year. 3 year. There you go. Oh, look at the beautiful base. Beautiful. Where is my square? No. Oh, here you go. Huge volume defined base. Bottom, bottom. Inclining 1 year moving average. Inclining. I don't know. The red one's a moving average. The 1 year. Inclining 1 year. Inclining 3 year above. Consolidating above. Above volume defined. If this thing could hold, guys, this one is a beaut. Let's see where my descending trend line is. So this is a non-greedy trend line. So it's really 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why we're probably slowing down right here. And if I take a shorter term trend line, this is probably one that we busted recently. So this is what I call transition area from bear to bull, where you're starting to overcome bearish technicals being on the right side. And corrections within this is tests or pullback of this area right here. And if ever this thing breaks out above this trend line right here, above this consolidation pattern, all right, time to get greedy. 3 cents. So let's say measured move in percentage. Wow, it's gonna be huge. 900%. Jesus, Pat. 900, 930. So $3, about $3.30. And you look at this. Look at this one. Where's my arc? Patrick. All right. Here's the arc. Oh. Here's the super duper arc. You could see it here. Perfectly going down. All right, check it out. Here's the arc, beautiful. And the more you look, you'll see these things, a slowing ascent. So I guess I'm not just covering a GV Sitfolio, right? I'm kind of doing a TA, technical analysis, how I do it. So this might be, hey, going down, 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 down. One test, the first violent explosion. First test maybe on the right arc. And then that's when you start. It's not always an arc. It doesn't always have to be an arc. It's a possible arc until you have a successful test of the right hemisphere. And then you could start doing that angle of ascent, angle of exit for those time to reach targets above here. But right now, it's just not quite a completed arc. But this is constructive that you're doing a higher low right here above that congestion area. And remember that target up here, $3 something for a stock that's right now like 22 cents. So that is a bigger than 10 bagger, man. Whoo, speculative. Look at that. You're starting to see the bases, the volume defined bases all over the place. So here's a lot of volume here on the breakout. It's going below. And that's what happens when the moving averages are still declining. You still have downwards pressure until you're able to stay above it. And then it starts inclining once again. So this one is right above. Now it just closed above that 1 year moving average. And the 3 year moving average now is below it. So it is starting to construct a bullish outlook, as most stocks in the Sitfolio are. Is it on the cups of breaking out? You'll see there's other charts that the flags are super close to the very well made, very tight, already above inclining. So this one might have a little bit more work left into it. But eventually, this is, if it could get above, it's always if it could get above back like 33 cents. And eventually, if it could close above 47 cents, and right now it's at like 24 cents, 24.5. If it could consolidate here, show it could stay above, you're really going to start creating that momentum below it. Let's do a non-greedy target. So let's say, just imagine you're completing a formation here. And now it's not quite ready, so it's about a question of time, right? So time is important in the equation. You want to choose the ones, you have to give more value to your plays, the ones that are really about to explode. So eventually, if you could have a nice base, see, even here, there's no mystery why sometimes stuff reverts, because you're creating, the chart is morphing 1, 2, 3 tests, morphing, creating strategic resistance lines. So this even 640, 660. So this huge base right now, if ever we complete it and break out above, and then after that we manage to get, this is going to be the transition area right here. And if we get above this long-standing descending trend line, this thing could go up to a few bucks, 33 bucks, $3.75. And right now it's at 24 cents. So another potential 10 bagger right there. But these are monthly candles. You got to be patient, guys. Patience. They explode 50, 100%. Then they pull back 50% of that move. Then explode 100, 200%. Then it's this that people aren't able to survive, these pullbacks. All right, so that's it for speculative tier. Now moving into the normals. Ooh, SDR. Look at that. That could have been the other one we just did before. Eventually, if it starts moving upwards. Here is my base. Even you could see an arc. Maybe by the end of the podcast, I'll know where my tools are. Just love TradingView. There you go. Put the green. Let's put orange. Okay, a little orange. Tuck. Okay, that's fine. Descending. You see, it's already following the angle of ascent. And there's another great tool right here. Trend angle. 66 degrees and 66 degrees here. So you could even estimate that you'll be reaching maybe that top. Oh, on the log chart, man, it's really finicky when you start the distance here from the edges of the arc. If I would take my time maybe and draw it better, usually it's the same. Close to that region here, you could have spikes, getting it early. You could put that trend, that like a pivot line, you could put that angle of ascent in between, like the halfway point, the mean. See, tests, goes down below it, then stretches above. I'm too far, then you're probably going to stretch below it and then explode above. So even next year in 2021, this stock right now says 63 cents, and a logical move already maybe get a double right there to about 160, or even more than a double right there. And then you complete a bigger pattern and you see what's up with that. Even here, you see that volume defined node. So that's what it's creating right now. That nice little flag right there. It's just beautiful, letting the moving averages catch up. So that's my target for SDR. OCG. Is that the next Kirkland Lake? I'm going to keep practicing until I get it. You're starting to see that. Look at that base. So the early birds, that the experts, like the guys who really know, that don't want to wait for that 1 year moving average to be above it, and they're ready, or that 3 years, so they're ready to get in on just the earlier of the faster of the moving averages. Oh, I'm in, guys. This is it. Look, I'm breaking out above. Huge gains on the turns. Huge. And even somebody could have done it this way. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm breaking out, guys. I'm in above this huge volume defined base. I'm pretty sure it's going to break out and then consolidate above. Let that 3 year moving average catch up, slow down. Now it's supporting. Golden cross supporting. Another beautiful. I feel like a sportscaster. I always wanted to be a sportscaster, describing, let's say, baseball game, taking my time, telling nice stories. Maybe I'm not old enough to do grandpa stories, but this is kind of what I'm doing right now a little bit. Look at that huge volume defined base. Bounce off it, bounce off the inclining 1 year moving average. Just beautiful. This thing should really explode. It's really bullet looking nice. And look at that. Here's the next challenge. It's right there. So this is another tool, the horizontal ray. So I'm always sure it's perfectly horizontal, and it puts a label right here. So 65 cents, that label. If ever closes above that, okay, let's get greedy. Measure move. Percentage, log scale, baby. Big targets, big targets. I don't have time for linear. I want the money. Log. Okay, about, it's hard to pinpoint it. So even here, if it's not perfect, so right now it's sitting at 46 cents and target is $4.22, guys. Cashling. It's starting to sound like those Bitcoin YouTube channels. I don't know where to get the breath, man. I can't go like that. But this is very bullish construction. The pullback's done. A lot of fear here. A lot of people, all the charts that you see with those big candles coming down. Oh, it's the end of the world. When we start looking at all the charts, some are leaders, some are a little ahead, and you see them turning already. That's what I'm expecting other ones at these type of critical junctures to start turning around. So this one's just above that turning point. Maybe get another run at that 63 cents, and eventually one test, two tests, and when it breaks out above, this is the target all the way up here, guys. So almost a 10 bagger for Outcrop Gold. And it could be a lot more. Remember, Kirkland Lake. I was going down for years, and then this was just beginning. Oh, I took my profits, I'm rich. Well, that $4 could maybe be $60. Stage analysis would keep you in it. Max resource. Jesus, hell. Woo. Okay, volume defined base. Climbing above it. I love it when it's above high volume defined area. Right now, it's just creating another one. So I'm going to put my horizontal ray at 47 cents. Pretty much go time. If it could have a monthly close above that. Flattening 3-year moving average. Here's my target, another volume defined node, $1.72. So 2-3 bagger from here. Don't need no fancy lines. Oh, maybe one here. So this is always good to know where you might hit resistance, right? Long term, 1, 2, 3 valid trend line. So this could actually slow down. So anytime, depending how much time it takes, when you start hitting that area, even if you have a target here, think that this could be an area where it's going to want to consolidate, let those moving averages catch up. So maybe this is going to stop around the 127, but after that, head over to 172. Max resource. Dolly Varden Corp. Silver Corp. Another one. Higher lows, monthly chart above inclining 1 year, 3-year moving average. Beautiful, beautiful consolidation. And this one is above, right above a volume defined node. And the moving averages should help propel that. In the bull market, it's going to help you support the price action. And then when you're here, everybody they're looking down here. Maybe. But remember, you're still in the precious bull markets. So you have your targets, these are corrections and not reversals until really something drastic changes in the landscape. And where is my... not many touches. Seems to be above. So sometimes I look for pivot lines. When 1, 2, breakout. Okay, not much there. Here below this horizontal line. So now it broke out, false breakout, back below. And hopefully it's going to be able to go up back above. Do I have some type of arc? Insane long-term arc. The steeper it goes in, the faster it goes in. Oh man, on the lock chart, the arcs, if I don't manipulate them correctly, They go insane. One touch, two touch, one. Not quite. This could even be, you could even imagine another touch here. So you really want to wait for this to finish consolidating, maybe touch out inclining through 1 year moving average. But because I'm trying to find some support, a trend line where I could say, okay, this is done correcting. It's tough. Oh, look here. Here's another reason why it halted. Natural wall support, now turn resistance. So this is probably going to be an area of consolidation, move sideways, and we'll see wherever it stops. We could be forming an arc, but it doesn't always have to be there. Not pretty. DV, wait here. Eventual targets all the way up here. But first, you got to get rid of this challenge area right here. And look, this, you could start be sliding up eventually once you get above. If you could sit on the right side of these volume defined nodes and slide down, that could help you up, guys. All right, Dolly Varden. Okay, last one in the top, in the normal tier. After that, we're going to go into the big positions and then the two biggest. Monarca Minerals. Look at that. Whoa, is that a Kirkland Lake? Kind of did something like that, right? Huge breakout above. Both moving averages. Now golden cross. Now consolidating above. Just beautiful. Where is my, you see that? Volume defined base. Just awesome. And now we're creating another one right here. Oh, but now you're below it. All that volume. So now this is going to be, this is a congestion area right here. You have to let those moving averages catch up. You have to let the people who bought here give up. Maybe a month, two more. Let that moving average catch up, pick you up, and then shoot you upwards. It's the process, guys. My imagination sometimes goes faster than the actual price action. Not always arcs, but this probably wants to consolidate a little bit more. Like if ever it closes above here, a monthly close above, you can't, this could shoot up and consolidate higher and let those moving averages catch up a little higher. But right now it's in the stuck between a rock and a hard place, so you gotta let that one play out. I'll still do the targets. So less greedy. I'm not gonna include those low wicks here. I'm gonna just stop it here. This is not rocket science, it's Patrick science. 518% move. The turns, this is huge, right? The turns are big moves. And 518 previous highs. So from 18 cents to about $1.10. That's where this thing is probably going. Only 24 left, guys. All right, let's go in the big ones. Argent Minerals Limited. Look at that base. Look at that base. Do I need to highlight it? I will. Look at that. And once you start sliding up, once you close the price action above, look at that. It had a nice breakout above both moving averages, very bullish. It had a volume defined base right below it. And then when it exploded up, now you're above. And just slide it up. Start to create its own volume defined node right here. Now it's letting those 1 year and 3 year moving averages catch up. It's just an uptrend. It's a beautiful uptrend. You're inclining in the stage 2, consolidating above inclining 1 year, 3 year moving averages. And now you're creating a volume defined node. So you need to get out of there. And this is the last step. So I don't know how long this is going to take. Once you get out above, the next volume defined node is super duper up high here. Let's see about my measured move. Could I say that this is actually my breakout pattern right here, and I'm just consolidating above? So sometimes you could consolidate below an important breakout line, and sometimes you break out and then right away you just rest on top, say, okay, that took a lot of energy, I'm just going to wait here. But I like those because it's like the one happening with gold right now. It broke out above its monthly, quarterly, defined all-time highs, or even maybe yearly at the end of the year, and it's just resting on top. I feel it's safer than resting below, and then you might get dragged down because you have no support. Because once you break out above this previous resistance right here, it's now support. So once we closed above 44 cents, that's actually becomes support, what I call a wall. So I see the measured move brings up around here, next congestion area here, some volume defined node here. So where we're at, this thing is at 0.046 cents, and target is about 16 cents. Sweet. Just consolidating right here. Low risk entry, close to those inclining when you're moving averages. And after that, off it goes. Probably nobody wants it here. A lot of people bought it here and they say, I'm down 50%. This thing sucks. But remember, at the beginning, percentage moves are insane in these penny stocks. Insane. So, yeah, down 20% one day and then up 40, 60 the next. Well, okay, maybe not in one day, but in a few days. Silver mining. Monthly chart. This thing is pretty sweet. I'm going to zoom in on the weekly just to get a little bit more data. 10-week moving average. 30-week moving average. Boop. Okay. So beautiful volume defined base, long-term sideways move. And when explode, watch out, explode, consolidate to that 10-week moving average, just perfectly bounce on it. And now this consolidation is dragging on. So the 10-week moving average is too fast. It can't hold it. The 30-week is barely holding on. And Stan Weinstein, when you're below 30-week average, is the beginning of a stage 3. And if you stay below it and then you break below a horizontal breakdown line below it, something like this here, you create a top. Essentially, you're back into a stage 4. But right now, an extended pause into a stage 2, sometimes instead of just being continuation breakout, you get a stage 3 where this thing needs to breathe and rest a little bit more. And this thing is actually back above the 30-week and the 10-week, starting to incline. And if you could zoom up here, there's a volume defined vacuum right here all the way to 80 cents. And after that, could this be considered a halfway flag? Those measured pulls, these give crazy targets. Crazy. I'll try not to get too greedy. Here's that. Whoa. Click and drag. Patrick, you can do it. Click and drag. So let's say this would be the measured move. Wow, $3.40. They're just insane, these moves. So that would be the measured move. So from 51 cents, no, where's it now? From 66 all the way to 330, that would be the move for, and even gives you a time to reach a target. So that target would be reached in March of 2021. So this thing has a lot of potential in it for fast explosion. It shows it's done it before. Strong correction. Could even do fib retracement. So how much, see, percentage wise, this thing retraced 50%. And this is something that happens often in these miners. They retrace a good chunk of their advances. Oh, looks like CMC, this one. On the weekly chart, but I'm going to zoom out. Can I zoom out? Yeah, I'm going to zoom out. Reduce noise. Back. Okay, there you go. Oh, look at that. Another Kirkland Lake Gold. I keep saying it. Bullish cross above 1 and 3 year moving averages. Beautiful volume defined base. Right now, you're working your way. You're creating a volume defined node. So all that volume where you're fighting it out could become resistance if you fall below it. But if you stay above it, it's a beautiful support. And in the bull market, look at that, man. This thing is insane. Beautiful consolidation above, breakout right here. Monthly defined breakout, consolidating above. And this thing should slide. The next target is where 20 volume defined target, 27 cents. And right now it's sitting at 12 cents. So already a double off this consolidation move right here. Inclining 1 year moving average. Beautiful entry right there. Let's do some measured moves. So let's say this one's consolidating above a breakout pattern. Yeah, see, 147 brings us about to that volume defined node. And that's what I love, when there's multiple techniques that bring it the ballpark to close to the same area. And even if you look here, you see there's a congestion area, previous support, now it's going to be turn resistance. So that's a pretty sweet target. And that should happen pretty fast, guys. Because if I use my trend angle, boop, and let's say this is a flag. Wow, okay, yeah, those are crazy, those targets. This brings me another one in June 2021, and then maybe overshoot all the way here to 40 cents. Cool. CMC Metals. Cool. Mountain Boy. Mountain Boy. Look at that. Look at that wick. What a scare last month. Oh no, it sucks. Buyers coming back in. The base is done. The huge moves already done. Where are we at? So this is my next volume defined node. This is the next transition area above both moving averages, acting as support. It's starting to get thin on top, guys. It's starting to get thin. Where's my next target? So higher lows, 79 cents, my next volume defined node. And this could create a bigger pattern eventually. But it just broke out. Beautiful retracement of that move. How much did it retrace? More than 50%, right? Yeah, retraced 61%, even more, closed out back above it. So this is probably a low risk entry right here, and close to that 1 year moving average, inclining. And the first target probably be the volume defined node right here, that congestion area at 79 cents. Could happen very fast. Klondike. Oh yeah, to the moon. Okay, phew, this one's beautiful. Bullish cross, 1 year, 3 year moving average, lots of momentum. Consolidation right here, creating that volume defined node. There's a lot of bullish stuff happening right here. Broke out 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here, broke out, consolidating above a breakout line. That was your last great area to enter right here at 6 cents, 6.5, and it's just broken out above. And if it could close the month above, it's already above volume defined resistance. So if you could close back above this monthly defined resistance right here at 14, what's that? 11 cents, 11.5 cents. So if it could come close December right here, even up 12 cents, make it convincing. This thing has momentum. Okay, so let's not get greedy. Let's do a measured move. I didn't take it off the measured move off the bigger base. Just here. Patrick, you're not respecting the rules. What rules? Ha ha ha. Yeah, I might go a little crazy. A lot of charts. So here's my measured move. Somewhere around here, the next. A lot of stuff coincides. Volume, previous resistance, now turn. Previous support, now turn resistance. About 58 cents. So that could be a natural target here. Measured move. Percentage wise, another 330%. All the way to 58 cents. I think I might have had higher targets. Like I said, targets, they're not, as long as they're higher. Somebody has a 60-cent target, the other one 80 cents. Well, look, they're both higher than where you are now, right? So that's the way you should see that. So even the 60-cent target would bring this to a 5-6 bagger. Use those trend angles. Here, flag. You could even say that it did it right here. And even here you could say I'm going to reach 23 cents in 2021. 2021, what? Yeah, something around there. And it could move even faster. So that's it for Klondike Silver. at Vino Silver Gold Mines. Whoa, look at that. Huge, 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 huge. Volume defined. Oh, you're below it. You have to get above this, guys. So it's hitting that monthly defined, volume defined resistance. It was in a declining 1 year moving, 3 year moving average. The 1 year starting to go up. So it's going to start doing a bullish cross. You're consolidating right above it, creating. Hopefully, you're not going to vacuum down all the way back down here to 84 cents. This is going to hold. You're going to start creating volume defined activity right here. And now you'll be able to have a higher low, get closer to that insane breakout. Man, this thing has never been able to get a... Wow, look at that. So this is embryonic. This is the move. This eventually would be the huge, huge move if ever this thing breaks out. So we're kind of early. Vino, why break out already? 600% move. Something like that. So I don't know if it's going to be able to keep going up, but that's like a huge $26, how much? $24 target. But already there's a gap right here. You have to go through this, but that base is going to help you support. So if you could go above here and eventually a close above 315, 320. So already here, these are the gains to make. Oh, not that one. Not that one. Okay, here. So here's the move. Pull. Flag above moving averages. Target should bring you about this important duper breakout line. And hopefully you're going to be sliding up above this huge volume defined base. And once you're above here, then it gets fun. So from that's pretty much the roadmap I have for Vino, guys. GGD, go gold. This one has moved fast. And right now it's not a lot of data, guys. But look at this base. Okay, I'm going to go on the weekly. All right, let's go back. I don't know why I didn't do a profile. Should have done myself a profile instead of flip-flopping like this. There you go. Go gold. Beautiful, beautiful consolidation on just above the 30-week moving average. Man, it's really getting close to a... Check it out. Wow. Huge volume defined. Zoom in. Huge volume defined node right above it. Look, with that 30-week moving average going up, man, this thing should break out. It's hogging that breakout line at 174. Beautiful stage 2. Nothing to say here. I don't know about that measure move. But, Jesus. Wow, look at that base. What do we do, guys? Do we get greedy? What? Okay, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to do this measured move, which could be a little bit exaggerated. 700%. It's going to bring me about $14. What if I do my pull trend angle? So here are a few targets. Again, they're upwards. This one could help us situate us in time how fast this is going to go after this consolidation once it breaks out. Something like this maybe. You'll see a 30-week moving average, another thing that supports the angle of ascent. So something around here would be probably the first target, and the longer term target would be all the way up here. But I'd wait, see how it looks here, what the pattern morphs, channels, whatever. But this is the energy it has. So go gold already from 168 should be doing 2-3 times its actual price all the way to 580. Reyna Silver Corp. Yeah, weekly. Not a lot of data, man. Is this one of the rare ones? I'll have to go into daily. So daily, I like the 50 and the 200. Jesus, don't even have a 200-day moving average. Huge volume defined base. Okay, this thing has to stick above at least the 50-day moving average. You don't want it to close. You want it to stay there for now. Are we getting signs? I want signs that this thing... There's not a lot of data. It's hard for this one, Reyna Silver Corp. But you are above this volume defined node. So if you could stick above, and I want it to prove itself to me that it could. So if it could close above $1.04 solidly and stay above that, then we could start creating an inclining 50-day moving average, and that could spill off to a 30-week moving average on the higher time frame, on the weekly and the 1-year moving average, and then we could start creating some good momentum. But it's not doing, it's smack in the middle. It's not doing it's still doing a higher low. And if you want, I would really want to see it break out above $1.04. So it's not far off to start showing that it wants to go back up. And then the target, of course, would be above here, above 167. Not that far off. SAE, Sable. Okay, there's a lot of data. Let's go back on the monthly. Wow, look at the mess, Pat. 1 year. 3 year. Reset chart. All right, here we go. Look at the volume. Oh, this one's nice. This one's nice. Huge volume defined base, higher lows, inclining 1 year moving average, 3 year moving average also inclining. We're approaching a bullish crossover. The price action is above. So this thing is already consolidated here for 1, 2, 3 months above the 3 year moving average. Now it's breaking out above it. And here's the next challenge. So right here, volume defined, monthly defined resistance, and right below it, volume defined resistance right there. So if you could get above that 28 cents, 31 cents monthly close right here, this thing is gonna fly. Okay, Pat, you're a salesman. Stop being the salesman. 300% move. You said I didn't take it from those. This is a non-greedy target. This is a more realistic target. Of course, it's up. So $1.28. So right now, Sable is at 22 cents. 22? Yeah, the 22 cents. And the target is where? What did I say? $1.20. So 4 or 5 times. And how fast? How fast can you get there? Oh, I like that. Let's try that one. Let's make it thinner. Hey. Info line. There you go. So trying to put it in between as a pivot line, imagining where it could go zigzagging. So this one brings us in 2021 third quarter, early third quarter, $1.25. If it could continue this angle of ascent, just beautiful. And also this measure move, look, it brings you into congestion area right here. So sometimes we look close to the steering wheel and then take a step back, and then you look at the chart and then you say, okay, look, it's a natural resistance while previous support turned resistance. So it's a nice place to take profits. If you have the target up here, then you have this big congestion area here and you say, it's like it doesn't make sense, but this one fits nicely. So that's a nice target, 130, 128 for Sable Resources. I like it. And that's why I said one time when I was filtering this GV Sitfolio, and these stocks, there's some, yeah, they're taking time to take off, but if these targets 2 times, 3 times, 4 times where they are now, the whole portfolio, I don't see it like it should be doing 2 to 3 times from where it's now. That's another thing I want to do, but maybe some math way is going to do it. Take all these measured moves I'm talking about, putting them in the calculator, and then trying to calculate as a whole what would be your whole return on the portfolio. But that's too much for me to do. Look at that. Volume defined base, huge breakout above 1 year, 3 year moving average, bullish cross. I love here's my monthly defined resistance, broke out above. It's also volume defined breakout And now it's just consolidating above that 1 year and 3 year moving average, letting time catch up. So we're already in measured move territory, guys. Because once you have a close above that monthly defined breakout line, that huge pattern right here, this is just consolidation above that breakout line. So the implied measure move is still valid. So percentage wise, geez, look at that. Okay, so here it is, natural resistance. There's probably going to be consolidation right here when you start hitting that congestion area. You see right here, that's what you're hitting. You're consolidating right here at this previous natural support, which is now resistance, wall. And once you get through that, it's probably going to vacuum all the way to about $3. A wall, previous support and resistance. And after that, the ultimate target would be 570. Creating a huge pattern and maybe the next Kirkland Lake Gold. Oloro, that was Oloro Resources. Right now at 150 and $3 target and then 570. Kuya Silver. Okay, not a lot of data. Should I go to the daily right away? Maybe weekly. Okay, I think there's enough data for weekly. Okay, the weekly. And imagine if I would have put my stock indicator and distance from moving average indicator. I fiddled with all of that stuff. Oh boy, would have taken a lot of time. But this is pretty effective. So huge base, volume defined base, broke out above. Just beautiful. Great buy in the entry here. Now it's just been consolidating. A lot of people giving up. Creating a volume defined node, and you're right smack on it, guys. All right, so Kuya Silver Corpo, what would be the, I think I have flagpole. Flagpole. Log chart. 75-degree angle. Target 375. And that's another target that makes sense. Again, that area here. Previous support. Turn resistance. 350. Next volume defined node right above it. So that'd be a logical target area for profits for Kuya. So right now it's sitting at $2, $2.05. Next target about a 367. Inclining 1 year, 3 year moving averages. Bounce, consolidating right here at this breakout area. So this is looking pretty nice. Maybe a little bit more consolidation, but it's looking good to complete that move all the way up to that 350 area. Southern Silver Exploration Corp. All right, let's go into monthly. 12-month moving average, 3 year. 36-month moving average, 3 year. Reset chart. All right, what am I dealing with? Huge volume defined bases right here. Here's one, exploded up. You see that over and over, classic move. And here there's 3 volume defined support areas nodes. 1, 2, 3. And right now we're above the biggest one right here. Let's see. One, 2, 3. So broke out above, huge descending trend line. Right now it's consolidating above a volume defined node, and this thing could slide up at any moment. What else do I have right here though? Horizontal ray right above here. So it's really in a congestion area right here. Let's see how it closes the month. but it's still above. It still needs time for that 1 year moving average to catch up. The very strong explosion. After that, look at that base, so high or low. So if you look at the bigger picture, let's get my measured move tool. So I'm not going to take this big pattern right here, this from these micro pennies. It could still be considered a valid target, but let's not get that greedy. I'm just going to take monthly close in March, add it to the breakout line, which is now consolidated. It's right below. So I don't know if could make a case that we have a bigger pattern right here. So less greedy. So breakout pattern would include this higher breakout line here at 60 cents. So if we get a good close above 61 cents for SSV, let's add that. Right, take that one out. Clean it up. 427% move. And look at, by magic, it brings you in that ballpark area. Natural resistance, pivot line, previous support. Oh, previous support, turn resistance, congestion area right there. So that'd be pretty much the move. And that also looks like a lot of these pulls, guys. And on the log chart, on the smaller time frames, so I don't know when this is going to start moving back up, but another target right up here above 215. So this thing's sitting around right now 43 cents, 43 cents 5, consolidating close. So this is what I call low risk, high reward entry. There's going to be that move just to get back to that breakout line, and after that, once you close back above, a lot of people want to get in. Then it's going to explode. Then after that, when it starts consolidating, people are going to get trapped because they bought in the FOMO, etc. Rinse and repeat. Human psychology. It happens all over the time. So right now, as soon as this move ends and everybody gives up on SSV, the next move up, remember, look, it's a higher or low. It's going to start to move up from higher up, and going to probably start getting people's attention above 60 cents, above 70 cents, on its way maybe to that pull move all the way to $2 about. And after that, the next move after probably next consolidation here, bring it above to 320 to 360 area. Oh, silver dollar resource. Back to the jelly chart. All right, let's put 50-day moving average. Patrick. 200-day moving average. That one probably not even going to show up, right? So that one has moved fast. Right now, it's been consolidating pretty much like the silver price since the summer, right? It's been moving sideways. Below 50-day moving average, below volume defined notes. A lot of people bought right here on the wrong side of it. So it's kind of hard here to have a big picture type of a situation analysis. Which on the smart time frames, you have to let it convince you that, especially if you don't have the weight of evidence from the higher time frames, let it convince you that it wants to resolve the move. Don't let it. So let it do a higher low. Let it go above its 50-day moving average at the least. And after that, if it goes above this breakout line, then you can say, okay, this is a continuation move. This was a pull, flag, pull. I'm not quite sure of that criteria there, if it's too far away. But let it prove that it wants to go above this important, at least daily defined breakout line and volume defined breakout line. So it's right now that's sitting around 175. So a strong daily close above that, especially 185. Right now it's at 145. That should be a continuation move on the way up. So kind of early, but keep an eye on this one. Equity Metals Corporation. Okay, let's go back on the... Do I have enough on the monthly? Yeah, let's go back on the monthly chart. Patrick. Why did I not? 12 month. I mean, I have a hard time choosing charts where I don't have a lot of data, because that's one of the advantage of technical analysis, is to have a lot of a lot of candles, a lot of history. But you know you're in a precious metals bull market. So if you know this silver metal price is going up, that these charts, which are IPO, which you're not don't have a lot of data, they have a chance of getting sucked up with the rest of the sector. Equity metals, guys. Wow, look at that huge. Okay, this is kind of skewing the whole thing. So let's revert to our volume defined base. Right, we broke out above. Consolidating above now this huge volume defined support, which used to be resistance, now support. And this thing could be an opportune moment to start sliding up. And the next volume defined node. So all these people that bought here, price goes action back down, they give up. Oh man, this is going to 2 pennies, and finally it's starting to get back up, it's trying to get momentum. So whoever's not selling anymore here, that wants to break even, angle of entry in the descending pattern, in the bottoming pattern, angle of exit out of that bottom pattern. So 46 cents, it seems to be a reasonable target for Equity Metals Corporation. And after that, you'll have a huge base, double bottom. And then you could start having fun with some measured moves. Let's see if I could put an arc. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe not yet. So we need time for that. But here's my first target, 46 cents. And I'll have this huge volume defined base. So if we could close the month above that, then we could increase probabilities of that moving on. See, it's also... Let's leave it at that. 46 cents, 47 cents target right now at 16 cents and a half. But let it close above that volume defined base right there. SantaCruz Silver Mining. Where is my volume defined base? Right here, broke out. Another one from an important declining long-term pattern. All right, just like that. Pivot line. Oh, below. Resist, down, resist, down, resist. Oh, breakout. Super critical juncture right there. Very important, very significative. A lot like Kirkland Lake. I can't even pronounce it. Why is wrong? Kirkland Lake. And just like it did from a $1.30, $1.50 all the way down. Higher lows, monthly chart, golden cross, consolidating above, breakout line, volume defined, breakout line. Look at that. I think, volume defined node right here. It's above. This thing is breaking out again. So SCZ is on the move. So a couple of targets. See, there's a whole bunch of ways. Monthly defined resistance, where I know it pulled back solidly from that level. You could also say, right here. So at 41 cents, I have volume defined resistance, just a little bit, small volume defined node. Here's my monthly candle close defined resistance. And here's another congestion area right here at around the 98 cents. Right around this area where there's congestion. So these are my targets. So right now it's at 33 cents. Targets 41.5. If it slides above that, then we go to 53. And if it really gets above 53, then could double almost to $1.96. And you'll have a beautiful, beautiful pattern. Higher lows, above inclining, 1 year, 3 year moving average. Just beautiful stuff. And every time it moves sideways, consolidates close to that 1 year moving average, then it's opportunity to add. And this could last forever. Not forever, well, Kirkland Lake has been lasting for a long time. It's a stage 2 uptrend on the monthly chart. So any one of these and a meaningful long-term bull run could keep going up and up and up. And if it stretches away from the one moving average and then there's a market liquidity crunch and then it consolidates and drops 50%, it could still be above its 1 year and 3 year moving average, right? Now it depends where it is when there's a sell-off in the market. So try to remove that fear. Oh, it could crash, market crash anytime. Let the stock do what it does have to do. And if the price action is sufficiently high above its 1-year moving average, if ever there's severe market correction, then for that stock, it's not going to deprecate or break all those bullish technicals to the point that it reverts back into a downtrend on the monthly chart. Ooh, Patrick. Okay, Aya Gold. Look at that. Huge. Look at that volume, man. Huge volume defined base. Oh, okay, so it broke out here. So it's above monthly defined resistance, now support, consolidating above it, inclining 1-year, 3-year moving average. Kind of an awkward pattern. And I'm going to just focus right here on what's happening right here. Breakout above, so now above those 1-year moving average and volume. There's no volume above here, so I have no idea how high that's going to go. We could have fun with measured moves. What? It's just insane. So you see, it's actually broke out. It actually had a base here, a little higher. Breakout, didn't quite continue upwards. 2017-18, then got dragged down. Is this March Madness? Yeah, down March Madness, back above. It's hard for me to... Could this be my next measured move? That March Madness really skewing the charts, but not quite sure about this measured move. $9.60. When you're not sure, when you're not quite sure about the measured moves, you revert to stage analysis. Because in stage analysis, Stan had some swing target rules, but he had his, as long as you were above his 30-week, in my case, the 1-year moving average, you just let it ride. If it stays in there for 10 years above the 1-year moving average, then you've been riding this thing for those 22,000% gains, like Kirkland Lake. That's pretty much the only way to ride it, is to have a framework where it's the moving average that's going to tell you if the trend's over or not. So if these measure moves don't quite make sense and classical charting doesn't quite make sense and you can't get those lines correctly, then don't worry about it. As long as you're above, you enter close to a consolidation, close to that 1-year moving average, and you know you're at low risk entry, then after that, you just let it ride, and wherever the target could bring it. So I don't quite have a target for it, but it did seem to break out, and right now it's been consolidating for 2 months above that monthly defined resistance, now support. All right, Aya Gold and Silver. IPT, Impact. Huge volume defined base. Solid breakout. Another one that's solid. That energy, that contraction, where those moving averages getting close together. When you explode, it's violent. Even long-term descending trend line, explode above, exploded. Now this is a beautiful opportunity. This is a very nice consolidation above. Here's my volume defined node. So this one's out of the picture, but right now we're creating a new one right there. Oh. So we're right smack on it. Right smack on it. Really, it started slowing down when it hit that natural defined resistance. So here's the congestion area right here. So this, you're on the fear entry type area where you think it's going to totally break down. This is closing in on a good low risk, high reward entry. So if it could stay close to this area right here and let that moving average catch up right here, after that, if it closes above that 106 or a good close 110 area, you're in a solid uptrend on the monthly chart. So let's do the measured move. Measured move. So it's gonna be a bigger pattern. So you see now you're targeting horizontal breakout lines. The first one, the wake up one, where there's huge gains, especially on silver, which it moves really fast. It's that descending trend line. You get in early. And after that, the stage 2 type moves is when you get horizontal breakout lines, which a lot of people, round numbers, gets a lot of attention. So you're not quite early. You're not in the beginning. But this is like the second chance to get in. So, wow, okay, this measure move is huge. So it's a 5-bagger, all above $5. What about my flag? My pull flag? So let's say, here's my, where quite am I? $84-degree angle. Whoa, that's violent. Is it on the way back up? Something like that. Pull, flag, pull. So this one, oh, see, this target fits more. You gotta keep having fun, moving along. Don't. It's not binary, this stuff. It looks binary that we're dealing with numbers, but we're dealing with more of human emotions charted on numbers. It's like it's a mix of numerology and science, art, whatever. It's all mixed. It's a whole bag. So try different techniques and see this flag, pull, flag, pull, pull, flag, pull. Nice measured move to 360. So this one's a pretty higher probability candidate, and expect some consolidation right here around the 160 area. So this is pretty much how I would expect this to go up. Go up here, maybe you hesitate a little bit here around the 160. Right now we're at 95 cents. Once you're past that 960, then this should whip all the way to $2.60. And once you're above 260, then maybe an insane measure move up there. And when you see those measure moves that are above, often you're dealing maybe with a channel or some upwards resistance. Look at that. It's like, it's magic. You're also going to deal, maybe when you hit the target around this area, you're going to be dealing with you're going to be defining the upwards boundary of a channel, which could create some resistance. So everything eventually morphs and gives clarity and fits into the picture better. Hey guys, we're almost there, guys. It's insane. Strike point. Strike point. Monthly define volume. Right smack on it. Bam. So here is my volume defined base. Right smack on it. So it's actually trying to move out. Some sellers came in, so I don't know where it's going to close the month. If it closes above this 21 cent area, convincingly 23, 24 cents, this is extremely bullish for strike point gold. There you go. Maybe one touch, two. That's right. See, it's starting to slow down here. You're starting to you're running into resistance that you didn't know it existed, but now you're starting to define it. So if this holds, bounces, that'll be the third point, creating this descending trend line from 2010. Very, very valid. So you're consolidating above 3-year moving average, consolidating above inclining 1-year moving average. This is called the bullish transition. So the huge gains were made when you moved up into this region, and now this is for round 2. People that bought on FOMO probably giving up here, so you're consolidating sideways. You have support right below you, but you're really close to this paradigm shift explosion on the way up. And let me grab out a lot of these flag pulls. Wow, man, I can't talk. A lot of these are all over the place in the precious metal sector, and very consolidation close by. So 84-degree angle, but on the short term, it's maintainable. So what do we have here? We have a measured move all the way to 118, close to this previous resistance, support turn resistance area. So we could imagine that we could get some, I can imagine some slowdown at 64 cents. And after that, 118 would be probably the final target out of this insane move, explosion out of this base. Wow. And all that for March 2021, guys. Strike point gold. So that's 8-bagger territory, if I could do the math correctly. 8? 9? Yeah. Pretty sweet. CCW. Canada Silver Cobalt. This one has been coiling for a long time. Have my eye on this one. Huge volume defined base. We're right below it. Look at that huge base below it. Nice coil. So explosion on the turnaround. This is like Kirkland. I keep saying it. Kirkland Lake. Beautiful explosion above a bullish cross on 1 year and 3 year moving average. Great time to go in from 3 cents to all the way to 62. Like, how much is that in percentage? How much is that? So let's say you would have bought here on the breakout. You would have had already 1900% move, just that, in 852 days. Beautiful consolidations along the way, below the 1 year moving average but above the 3 year moving average. Just awesome. And right now you're getting another opportunity for the next move up. Beautiful coiling action right here. What are we dealing with? This one didn't quite hold. So I got my pivot line right here. Try to break out above. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Higher lows. Tight. And that's pretty much all she wrote, guys. She's hogging closer to that breakout line than that breakout line than that breakdown line. So it's very bullish. There's a lot of explosion in this chart. Can't wait to see how this unfolds. But let's say non-greedy measure move. Non-greedy measure move. So the high to the bottom of that added to the breakout line, 184%. So this is pretty short term. Non-greedy target, $1.77. Also matches up very well with previous support and resistance. So a lot of good things happening right here. A lot of confluence, very inflection point, super important point. So right now you're at 54 cents, a breakout above 66, 68 cents. I'm going to have this do a 1 bagger, almost 2 bagger, or 3 times its price to around the 180 area. And that's pretty much it for Canada Silver Cobalt. Very, very tight action right here. Huge base below it. Something big's going to happen. Let's see where. Golden Tag Resources. This thing exploded. Good things happen when you're above an inclining 1 year and 3 year moving average, guys. Anything. Sometimes I say it, maybe too often. It could explode at any moment. That's like what gives me like the courage to say those type of things is because I know I'm above an inclining 1 year and 3 year moving average. So whatever correction, whatever consolidation you have on the smaller time frames on the daily chart, with one swift strike of that higher time frames tidal wave that just decides, okay, the buyers are coming in at that moment. They don't care about that daily chart that has to consolidate, that's doing whatever type of correction. It's just going to come and swoop in and swipe everything under it and bring up the price action and put all those indicators in overbought territory on those smaller time frames. The higher time frame is the one that counts, and you see it here. I'm pretty sure here there was supposed to be some consolidation on the smaller time frames, and the candle just extended, and the higher time frame is going to be able to keep you into those huge moves, guys. So when you're above a 1 year moving average, next candle exploded, the next candle after that, you have momentum. Don't underestimate it. And that one's pretty, Golden Tag is going like to its targets, man. It's heading towards 66, so it's a question of time, I think, that's going to test. So you have to start zooming out, and then essentially what you're seeing here is a huge base. Okay, so this is pretty tough because right now these are like in micro pennies or small pennies. So what's going to be the measured move? Should we get greedy? Okay, let's do the greedy target. That's a 3,000% move. Yikes. Can this be? And you'll see, I have no fundamentals about this. I know GV did fundamentals or about this. You guys, Don has lots of fundamentals. This is pretty price action chart. So that's a crazy, crazy target for a golden tag. Is it even possible? $23 off right now, 39 cents. That would be a huge, 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 huge winner. So let's see right here. What about very aggressive flagpole? Pull? Tight consolidation, multi-month. Oh, here's another target. Look, it's we don't know above this area. Once you get above that 66 cents, a monthly close above 66, 67, solid close above that, we're going to start discovering this natural resistance. So this one could be another target, 236. Then you have to start drawing, some of you maybe like Fibonacci extensions. Then maybe you could start drawing pivot lines, but going the other way, right? Like a channel. It's hard to see where you might slow down along the way. But this is really, really building up to a big pattern. And maybe it's going to consolidate a little bit here. So maybe we can go up 50%, consolidate a little bit under 66 cents. And then after that, that pattern is going to morph. And they give us a better projection. But that one is violent. So you see the base. This is what the type of things you have to look for. It's kind of messy below that 3-year moving average, but eventually coils up, higher lows. And when the momentum starts going, it just explodes, guys. Look for those type of bases. AAG Aftermath. Cool. Another example. This one looks to have clear skies ahead. And a nice base here. Another Kirkland Lake type scenario. Close above, inclining 1-year moving average, still declining, 3-year moving average. Strong close, wake up everybody. And after that, it just exploded for the next few candles. March Madness brought it back down to the 3-year moving average, barely closed below it, gapped open below that on the next in the April, but closed back up here. That would have been a great buying opportunity right there. Let's look at Aftermath. What are we looking at here? So it's consolidating, kind of messy right here. It's kind of a support area. It dipped below it, but now it's back above it, gapped above. Wow, this is actually very nice. Volume defined support. Right above it, man. This is it's on the move. It's on the move. Look at that. I base my, if it closes above $1.06, I base my lines on closes. The wicks, noise, smaller time frames, gap up. If it closes below, I don't care about that open on the following month. That gap up, it's the close of the month that counts. So the breakout is at a what did I say, 106? Close $1. Yeah, $1 is the close. That's at 106. So if it could keep the month close like that, this thing is on a roll. Aftermath. Flag pull. Yes, I said it correctly. Yay. Something like that, just about. Wow, $6 target. Jeez, I'm going to be a millionaire. 576. And March 21. So in 3 months, we could have crazy action for Aftermath Silver. As soon as I move on the log scale, when I move up and down, my angles. So that's pretty much it for Aftermath. Looks pretty sweet. Let's say non-greedy base. So we're actually, and what's holding it up nice is because it closed above important monthly defined resistance. So now, instead of being below it and trying to fight out, you're closing above. So even if you sink below it, the price action is going to tend that previous resistance to be support. It'll suck you back up. And look at these wicks going down. You could have thought it was the end of the world, but it depends where this is situated. It's not situated at the bottom. It's situated above an inclining 1-year, 3-year moving average. A lot of power there. And so often something technical happens, bearish, and then you see some Japanese candle pattern that say, oh, it's the end. But you have to take it in the whole context, the whole weight of evidence. Or $10. There's my $10 target. So let's see if this would slow down. It could slow down. I don't have more data than here, man. Kind of unfortunate. So a lot of places where this is actually continuing. So a three bagger to 365 before it starts slowing down around this area. Maybe $3 right here. Around this area here could start slowing down, creating another volume defined node, which would become a platform to support it. And then after that, 576. And if it gets above that, then end game type of targets would be Jesus, $10. 10 bagger for aftermath, guys. From here. Nice. 3 more, man. 3 more. I think I'm doing this faster than I thought I would. When you don't have to take the time to do perfect annotations, when I get to freestyle it, but with a lot of thinking beforehand. For sure, there's more details. There's stuff I'm missing, guys. But this is to give you a ballpark of the health of all these stocks. And as you've seen from there, a lot are at the beginning. Either they explode above those 1-year moving average, 3-year moving averages, consolidating above, giving you another chance to go up. They're not all in perfect situations where they're, oh, it's going to explode and there's some work to be done. But you're not buying up here when the 1 year and the 3 year have run for a long time and are going down. You're buying off the turn and early off the turn, because a lot of people, they're going to buy. Some are advanced. You saw in the stocks, I can't remember which one. Some are advanced, like they're here. A lot of people are going to start getting in here, and most of the crowd is going to start getting above here. So look at that. You're just turning. This is like Kirk Lake. How many Kirkland? How come I'm still saying Kirk Lake, guys? You should shoot me down. Seriously. A lot of them are starting. They started like that, guys. You know, that beautiful volume. All the insiders loading up here. But now, technical analysis, guys. Maybe this is too early for us, but this is pretty sweet. Breakout above, consolidating a little bit, but a lot of support right here. A lot of close to those moving averages, very tight. And this thing should be testing that $2.79, creating a bigger pattern. So I don't know how it's going to look like. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. To the moon, Pat. Use imagination and you can't stay stuck in the mud. Oh, I drew it like that. It has to be that. And then I draw my lines all over the place. And like I did an analogy, it's like a scatter plot chart. If I could put all these type of analysis, even if they're done wildly or approximatively, eventually you could see and it's that noise. You could kind of see a pattern of where things might start to land, right? If you throw 1,000 darts, then they're not going to be bullseye, but you're going to pretty much see what type of, where you should be, your accuracy, right? So this is the type of thing I could imagine for Aurcana Silver Corporation, guys. Just beautiful. This thing should keep moving. Is this a low risk entry? Pretty much. With that, it might consolidate a little bit above that 3-year moving average to let it turn back up. But a monthly close above, could I get that? Yeah, right here. Yeah, here's a pretty safe bet. Previous support, turn resistance, pivot line, tested one here, tested twice here, and here it halted the advance up for a long time. So a close above 115, monthly close above 115, right now we're at 90 cents, would really, really sell a good signal and create some bullish momentum with that those moving averages going up, and then we could go hit those. It's like a 3-bagger, 279. This area here, natural another pivot line, previous support, turn resistance, and I see it's resistance. So that's probably going to be resistance here, and we're probably going to consolidate in this area here. So I don't know how that's going to look like exactly here. Test once, twice, on the third time, break it up. And eventually levels, 46 longer term. But remember, angle of descent, Not always, but in an arc formation, especially if we this ends up being an arc. And even an arc, you could draw one before it's completed. I think North Star does it often there. It gives you ideas of where it could pull back. And sometimes you say, oh no, like your brain sees that target. It can't imagine that could pull back. But something like this could even put your expectations back into a more logical type of situation, right? So explosion right here. Then after that, consolidation sideways all the way back here to 2022. And after that, nice explosion all the way for the end of the decade, or 2024, all the way to 45, 46. So this is probably even a more logical, see how it grows, possible type of move that could unfold there for Aurcana Silver. It's mystical, Patrick. Technical analysis. Yeah. So just use your imagination and see how much time it could take there for those moving averages to start turning up, where the action could be. And this could be a situation where how Aurcana unfolds. Okay, guys, last two. The biggest one, Defiance and Abracadabra. Not Abracadabra, Abraplata. And this is Defiance. Defiance is a beast. Beast. Look at that. Beautiful breakout. Again, 1 year, 3 moving average. It's just the momentum, the compression. When you get there, bam, when it explodes. Out of this world, creating very steep 1 year moving average. You had a whole bunch of other things happening here at the same time. You had a huge volume defined base. And as the volume really contracted there, it just zipped up. That's the expression there, like when there's no above resistance, it just flies. You can't say, oh, it's going to fly forever, but there is natural resistance somewhere. You just haven't defined it yet. You haven't seen it yet. But there's some people that have some sell stops in place. That's natural resistance. That's going to eventually be discovered. There's a whole bunch of stuff that could happen. But higher lows, just beautiful. Oh, look at that huge pattern, man. This just happened a few months ago, October. I didn't see that. So we could do a measured move. I can't get too greedy, man. These lows, they really skew the... I'm going to get really not greedy. So I'm going to omit the March Madness lows. So 200% move. Let's not get greedy. So 200% move would bring us to at least to 170. So one bagger from here. It's in a solid uptrend. You don't know when this thing's going to stop. So yeah, when it starts hitting that one area, it could move a sideways move. But if you want a framework to be able to keep it for multiple years, if you really think that this company is a Kirkland, I said Kirkland again. I keep testing myself. That is just going to go something like this. Where is especially if silver, we know that's going to be in the bull market for many years. Where is not that one. Here, I love this one. So let's say it does something like that. And this is a log chart, right? And then you just let that moving average. Oh, look, the highlighter. Ooh. And then that's a moving average going up. Can I make this thinner? Ooh, cool. So somebody said, oh, I'm going to make huge profits here. And then after that, pulls back down. And after that continues, you're still in an uptrend. You still have the momentum. So it all depends. You have to set that stuff ahead of time. Because if you don't know where you're going to take your profits ahead of time, the FOMO is going to get you guaranteed. It's going to knock you down. You're going to take your profits. And after that, you won't have those big winners. And then after that, you're going to be offset by those losers, where you need those big winners to offset all those small losses. All that stuff you hear, those cliches where you hear all over the time. Well, it's not cliches. It's good stuff to do, but it's very hard to apply because usually the plan is not crystal clear in your head. And when you get to those moments, you look around you and then you take profits either too early or which is probably going to happen. Think of it ahead of time. Get ready for it. But Defiance just looked at that chart and just broke out of a huge base, man. It beat its 2012 highs. That's insane. Not a lot of these charts. Remember these charts? They start from high and then they went down, and after that they're breaking out and you're on the turn. Well, this one, it's just beautiful. Above its 2016 high. So I hope this becomes a leader and shows what the other charts should be doing in the future, because this is very bullish for the whole sector, seeing a leader like this. So actually now it's consolidating. Any opportunity to, I'm going to zoom in. This one merits a little more attention. Look at that on the daily chart. Let's put the 50-day moving average. 200-day. Look at that, beautiful. Always above the 50-day moving average. That's a lot of power. No whipsaws. Beautiful bounces every time. And this is actually entering close to a beautiful entry. Continuation entry right here. So once you get close to that 50-day moving average, this could be a nice opportunity to get in right there, just a little bit lower if it does. Beautiful fear entry. So a lot more upside, because remember, you have those that huge volume, that huge breakout line, which is previous resistance, now turn support. So this area right here, 61 cents, to not get much lower below that, should give you a lot of support. So that's it for Defiance, man. This one could be a long time runner, guys. Just the way it's moving up, just beautiful. Abraplata. This one is insane. Insane. Okay, 1 year. Not a lot of data. Okay, let me put... Do I have a 1 year moving average at least? Okay, cool, I have it. Okay, let's put a 3 year moving average. Okay, let's start from the base. So look at this thing move. You know where I'm going, right? Everybody now could do what I do. Everybody. Huge base. Early birds. This was their gold signal above an inclining 1 year moving average. Even if the 3 year was going down, early bird knows the sector, studied, whatever. This is a beautiful breakout here at 9 cents, 11 cents. And then look how far it goes. 11 cents. Right now, what? Oh no, this is hot. It's not 11 cents. 10? What's this red line here? What am I looking at? That's right. Okay, 11 cents. That's a mark. Is that an alert I have? What do I have here? Labels. All right, I don't know what that is. Maybe that's an alert. So we're at 11 cents. Beautiful breakout right here. And after that, look at that. We're at 38 cents. Already a 4-bagger. Beautiful consolidation here. I don't know. This might be the closest ever going to get to that 1 year moving average. Let's put another. So this is my next breakout line right here. A close above 42 cents is for me a signal that the consolidation is over. Here you see that's the monthly defined support. We're right above the high volume notes. A lot of transactions right here. We're above it, so now that's support. So it could stay actually right here, closing in, hogging in at 42 cents. And that's going to be time for a greed. So let's do a measure move. The flag pull. Pull flag. Pull flag. Pull. So something like that. Jesus, 170. So here's my measure move, 185 about. So we're sitting at 38 cents. 185, 5-bagger, 5 times, right? 4 times, 4 or 5 times. Strong angle of ascent. So maybe this in the first quarter, second quarter of 2021, Abraplata should move very strongly ahead. That's pretty much it, guys. Pretty sweet stuff for all these. I'm going to put the Sitfolio. I exported the importable list. I'll put it in the description. I don't know if I could attach it in the YouTube channel or something like that. There, find a way to get it out to you. Maybe somebody could share it on the Google Drive. But all these, man, if I zoom back down, look, it's okay, let's reset the chart. Let's do a fast recap of these things, man. Look at that ABRA. Consolidation, moving up. Defiance, already above its all-time highs, consolidating above. Aurcana, one of these turnaround points, right? Remember, early bird. Moving above its 2014-13 pullbacks, consolidating above, aftermath looking great. Golden tag, approaching its all-time highs. CCW, this is the one of perfectly coiled. Strike point, descending trend line, approaching its breakout line. Paradigm shift. Impact Silver Corp. You see as they advance different stages. So this one's consolidating up next to its 2016 high. So a different place in its evolution, but it's going upwards, guys. How many of these have you seen that are below declining 1 year and 3 year moving averages? Consolidating above its all-time highs. Aya. SantaCruz above and declining 1 year 3 moving average. Explosion right here. Early bird. People buying FOMO, but this one is already continuing. EQTY Metals. Same thing. Above inclining 1 year moving average. The 3 year, it's kind of funky, right? This thing really skewed that moving average, but above a huge base. Yeah, this one, I'll have data. I'm not going to go back on the daily for that. Again, closing in on those 2016 highs. Very nice. SSV consolidating right below it, above inclining 1 year 3 moving average. This one just turned the corner. Kuya Silver above inclining 1 year moving average. ELO. Golden Cross above its 2018 highs, consolidating above it. Uptrend. Sable up 1 year 3 year moving average, just on the turn above huge. This one's gonna explode really strong really soon. Reyna, okay, I'm not gonna go back on the daily. GGD, look at that, all-time highs, consolidating right below it. Big explosion coming up. ASM, early bird, right? Got in early, inclining 1 year moving average, hitting resistance, coming back down. The next opportunity to get in is right about here, guys. When everybody's scared, those converging moving averages. Look at that. Oh, beautiful base, right on the brink of completing that pattern, that huge base. Clear skies ahead for Klondike. Early bird explosion, hitting some resistance, pulling back, still inclining 1 year 3 year moving average. 3 year moving average not inclining, but 1 year, and the longer you stay above it, it should start supporting you. That's beautiful. We just lived through huge consolidation in silver prices, gold prices, and look at these stocks. They're not destroyed at all. They're not doing lower lows. They're not even close. So even if they're not respecting. I'm sure there's some junior miners that are awful, but these ones that GV selected, look at that turnaround point. This is Kirkland Lake. Did I pronounce it? Yes. Consolidating, measured moves, early bird. So if I had time to classify this, there's like the early bird ones where it's just turning, where you can make huge moves. There's the ones approaching their 2016 highs, consolidating above or below. There's the ones that doing their all-time highs above. Super bullish stuff, guys. This is a lot of energy right here, right there. A lot of people scared. And in hindsight, we're going to look at this and say, oh man, look, I should have bought here. Silver mining, above inclining, 1 year moving average, 3 year moving average. Just beautiful entry just a little while back. ARD, Argent Minerals. Another one, guys, like Kirkland Lake. Did I say that right? Yes. Somebody should make a count of the number of times I said Kirkland Lake during the podcast. 1 year, 3 year moving average, bullish cross, consolidating close to that 1 year moving average, just insane. And now above its 2016 highs, consolidating right there. A lot of beautiful setups right there, guys. Monarca Minerals, same thing. 1 year, 3 year moving average. Just turned the page. A few months above it, man. This is just starting. It's not, like I said, that you've been running this 1 year moving average for 2-3 years and then it's starting to turn. You just turned the corner. And now you're living a pullback. 50% pullback is going to scare a lot of people, especially people who are over leveraged, which have no emotional resistance. Breakout, hitting some resistance, pulling back. 1 year moving average, 3 years should start angling upwards soon for Dolly Varden. Volume defined support right here in an uptrend. Look at this one, early bird for this one. So a few pennies, 7 pennies, nice base. 1 year moving average inclining. So this kind of violent, but there's a big pattern unfolding here. So keep an eye on for max resource. If you got an early, great. If not, then wait for these type of pullbacks close to important resistance line. They're always there. At least the price slows down, and then you know if you get a good entry. Paradigm shift trend line, breakout above. Just did the 1 year over the 3 year moving average, and the longer you stay here, the 3 years gonna start bringing it back up. Support held, just beautiful, forming a base pattern right there for Outcrop Gold. SDR, check this thing out, above a 1 year, 3 year moving average, and now just consolidating, creating volume node right there, and this could be another measure move all the way up here. BRG. Okay, guys, almost finished the recap. Can the recap be longer than the actual podcast? 1 year, above 1 year, early bird, above 1 year moving average, still severely declining 3 year moving average, and that's bringing the price action down a lot. So it tried to get out, but it's still so it's not like an A++ where it had time to really create a nice arc, higher lows. So it's very volatile, but eventually this thing is going to come and test that 52 cent area another time, and then you'll be doing higher lows, and you'll have the supportive 3 year moving average below it, and then you could come and challenge these descending trend lines right there. Vangold Mining Corp, 1 year, inclining 1 year, above 3 year moving average, huge volume defined base, just beautiful. If you could break above this intermediate descending trend line, should move nicely. I'm not going to go back on the daily for that. Alianza, yes, huge volume defined base, broke out above, another early bird gets the worm. Every pullback has been bought up, and now just testing that breakout line. Eventually when that breaks out, clear skies ahead, guys, for these targets. Rex, above 1 year, 3 year, severely pulling back, kind of scary. But let's wait for this type. So this is on A++. Let a wick come. So let the month close. Let the buyers come. Let them show you that there's buyers that are going to come that don't want the price action to close below here. You don't want to close on the low. So this one's just a watch for now. 3 more, guys. The recap's going to be done. Above 2017 highs, even 16 highs. Pull back to that breakout line above inclining 1 year, 3 year moving average. So let's see where this could turn around. Nubian Resources, the targets all the way up here. Sterling Metals, huge volume defined base. Early one as the 1 year, you close above the 1 year moving average. Now you're still declining 3 year moving average, but you're above it. So the longer you stay above it, it's going to start turning around. And the neckline is right there. So there's a vacuum all the way to test this descending trend line. And after that, who knows what type of price this thing could do. And Norzinc Ltd, descending trend line below 1 year. This is probably the least good looking one. Below 1 year moving average, 3 year moving average. It did do a higher low above those March lows. So let it prove that it could go up, guys, a little bit, this one, before even tempting it. So that one is the earliest of the earliest. All right, so I'm going to close this up right under 2 hours. And guys, that's it, man. GV Sitfolio, the way it stands today on December 12th, 2020. And I can't wait to see how this looks like in the next 3 months and next 6 months. And All right, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Take care. Ciao, guys. Do 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 do.